Hiya folks, it's Kikoskia here, and welcome back to Let's Play Pillars of Eternity. And when last we left off, thanks to the passphrases that we learned, we were able to infiltrate the Leaden Key meeting. And we got some leads that we can follow. One of them points to somewhere outside of Deerford, and another points to the sanitarium in Defiance Bay. But the third, and most important one, is our next mission from the Leaden Key. Going to Heritage Hall and stopping the device in the middle of it. A device that I imagine is going to be quite similar to the one that gave us our strange abilities. Now we could also talk to Marshal Forwin, who's probably going to tell us that Gathbin is readying to attack Caed Nua. We're not ready for that. We're not going to be ready for that for a long time.
Yes?
There's also a letter we got from the steward. But before we speak to the steward, we're going to speak to this person, a veteran of the Saints' War. My lord, I do not wish to trouble you, but I could use your help in a personal matter. Very well, let's hear it. You call your allies together and motion for the petitioner to step forward. Biscuit runs over. Could I help? The pig also wants an audience. This is harder for me to say than I thought it'd be. My name is Odana. I fought in the Saints' War, same as most of my kin. I followed orders, no more. Between one thing and another, I guess I made a reputation for myself. They call me a hero. Every street I walk down, I get handshakes and comments. The dozens. They act like I'm some figurehead for their schemes. The things I've done, I don't get much sleep. The last thing I need is all this attention. All I want is some peace. Please, you're the only one I can turn to. Perhaps one of my companions here can help you. Yeah? How do you mean? Well, Adir's been through the war. I'm sure he has some advice. No, Adir's over here, game. Can't say I've got much experience being overappreciated by people, but there might be some things we can talk about. Adir will be busy for 5 days. Your stronghold has gained 1 prestige. Yes, I think this will help. Thank you, Lady Lirin. You don't know what this means to me. Does this mean I now don't have... Yep, he is no longer in the party for 5 days.
Yes?
We've got to burn 5
At
days. Well, let's have a chat with the steward.
My lady, you've received a letter. Delivered with some urgency, as it happens. I thought the messenger might swoon, poor dear.
Is this the way to get to the expansion?
It's from Stalwart. Apparently the mayor, Renengild, has heard of your success here at Caed Nua, and hopes you can be of aid to her people as well.
Where is Stalwart?
Stalwart is located within the mountain range known as the White March, which puts it several days' journey northeast of here. You'll want to wear something warm.
What does Renengild want?
Stalwart is a mining community, and at one time they enjoyed a great deal of influence. Renengild hopes to reclaim old glories, I expect. It seems she's intent on gaining access to Durgan's battery. And she's offering quite the reward to anyone who can get inside.
Durgan's battery?
A reward, she says, for getting into the battery. That's a reward of its own, surely.
What is Durgan's battery?
The dwarves of the battery fashioned Durgan steel, and with it they crafted the finest arms and armor the Deerwood has ever known. But the keep has been abandoned for centuries, and none remain that know their secrets.
Oh, so if we succeed here, Durgan steel might be able to be made once again.
There are many legends concerning the battery. As the Earl told it, the dwarves fought amongst themselves, each seeking to use the battery to further his or her own ambitions.
And if someone's seeking the battery, these ambitions may be rekindled. Be it the dwarves or other people.
Greed and cruelty brought down the battery, and now the spirits of those same dwarves roam the halls.
Oh.
Whatever happened, the battery has been impenetrable ever since. A shame. I don't doubt that there are great treasures still within those halls.
Perhaps I'll pay Stalwart a visit.
Oh, just think! The greatest of the dwarven strongholds, ours to explore!
With some caveats.
I should mention that among those rumored to have answered Reningild's summons is a certain group I believe you may have an interest in.
Is it Maleddin Key?
Followers of Woodica, intent on reaching Stalwart and the battery. I do not know what they seek there, but I thought it worth mentioning, given your interest in the ruins at Defiance Bay.
It's appreciated.
Now that I've delivered Reningild's message, there is also a local matter of some concern, my lady.
Oh?
A mercenary band has been sighted to the northeast. I believe they mean to take Consul Hot's tower, and I don't expect the Archmage will go quietly.
Oh.
Consul Hot's one of the greatest wizards of our generation.
Adolf fidgets and flutters, vacillating between anxiety and excitement. He appears to be at a loss for words.
The Torn Bannermen are a deadly fighting force, and Consul Hot himself has sent many travelers to their graves. I would caution you to stay clear of the region if you do travel to the White March.
We're probably going there.
It's not that I doubt your courage, my lady, but Consul Hot alone boasts power of a different scale altogether to those foes you have faced thus far. Given more time, perhaps you will match him.
Ah, so that's the game going, watch out, this person is incredibly dangerous.
If the Bannermen succeed in their efforts, I fear they may turn their attention to Caed Nua. I will keep you apprised of the situation, my lady.
Noted. Who is Consul Hot?
A famed archmage. I am given to understand that the Brackenberry Sanitarium puts much stock in his work, as regards the manipulation of the soul. His spells are widely circulated. But he is poorly regarded in many circles. Some call him a madman, or else cruel and barbarous. He must be very old by now. Perhaps that is why the Torn Bannermen believe they can best him.
Maybe they can. Or maybe they do not know the power an old wizard can still wield. Do you know anything else about these mercenaries?
Little enough, I'm afraid. The Torn Bannermen are well supplied and well organized, and there are rumors that they are backed by an unknown benefactor.
Mysterious.
They have proved remarkably effective in the past, and they are certainly a threat now.
Farewell.
Safe travels, my lady.
Thank you.
Yes?
Speak to the steward, travel to Stalwart. Well, we can now go do the DLC also. Travel to Crackholt and investigate the conflict. We are one person down, so I'd rather not do that until I have a deer back. But you know what we could do right now? We have a jail. And there's a jailer. My lady, there's an urgent matter. Is there? Well, I'm all ears, jailer. What's up?
Well met, friend.
My lady, Nero's been causing some trouble recently. What would you like me to do about it? Take care of it yourself. It's not my concern. I don't want to get involved. As you say, my lady. Begging your pardon, my lady.
Good day to you.
Greetings, my lady. I'm here to maintain the cells for you. Should you take any prisoners in your travels, I'll be sure they're tended to as you see fit. Do you have any instructions for me? Not that! Or you're done with these prisoners? Nothing right now.
I'm here.
What I want to do at the moment is I want to go and check out Brighthollow. Yeah, they may be my prisoners, but I'm not going to be cruel to them. Being imprisoned is enough. So, I'm going to have a quick look at how Brighthollow is, now that everything is practically finished. There are just a few small things that haven't been worked on.
This place, as beautiful as it can be with the absence of children.
Oh, look at that lovely fountain. Look at all the greenery. Let's pop inside and check out the environs. We could just rest here for a few days and have time pass that way while Adir is talking.
Elegant yet understated. I had no idea.
Look how lovely it is. Anything for us to loot? There's this. Rich savoury stew bubbles over the hearth. God, this beautiful fountain. We've got this small library and dining area with bread. Like bread. The new shelves smell rich with freshly cut timber. Got this area here with a little bit of reading and stuff for alchemy. And there's upstairs too. But let's look at this fountain. Oh, it is nice. This is all very, very nice. And then we will pop upstairs and have a quick look in this area. While I'm here, I might as well get a rest in and get a rest bonus. What is our rest bonus right now? It is +1 resolve and +1 perception. We can do a bit better than that. Ah, Sagani is here. And you're here. There are conveniently rooms for every party member we can have that isn't in our group right now, I wager. Yep. This is where they all rest up. And I imagine our room is the biggest one. Yep, our room is the biggest one. The window on the other side of the curtain looks down on the perfect rows of hedge mazes. Tucked into the drawer is a note signed with bright red lip prints. It reeks of cloying perfume. Thanks again for helping me with Colfig. It's always nice to have a friend who knows how to take care of business. Come see him anytime. Precanta.
I'm here.
Well, like it or not, we have made friends with her. This may end up being useful at some point, but I prefer not to have to call any favours with one of the heads of the House of Domenel. Now, we could go out and explore for a couple of days until Adir is able to join us again, or we could just rest a bit. Take some time to relax, take it easy. +3 resolve here. Right now, our bonus... Oh, that's actually a point. We have 13 resolve right now. 15 would give us... Oh, it would only give us 15, wouldn't it? Yeah, we'd only have 15 resolve. That's not enough to do what I want to do in the Salty Mast. A shame, but what can you do? What I can do is we can rest up and then get another thing built. Because it's only 3 hours until the Botanical Garden is done. So, we'll rest up. We might as well get the mechanics bonus. Take some time to enjoy our Stronghold. You wait to see Durance, his staff held in both of his hands before him. A flame flickers at its top end, casting long shadows across his face as he stares in contemplation. Still, for all the light of the fire, your eyes can't focus on him. Perhaps it is awakening from sleep, or a trick of the light, but he seems indistinct, blurred around the edges. Everything except for the staff. The staff. He seems to be studying its engravings. As you watch, the engravings glow thinly red, like through the cracks of heat-suffused wood. The lines stream like molten metal, burning along the edges of his staff, then branch out in an intricate series of fiery veins, bunching thickly where his hands clutch the wood, pulsing as if a heartbeat. As you watch, the veins spiral into a dozen separate circles, circles that spiral again until they are arranged in a circle of their own. They pulse, wait, and all is strangely silent. And then suddenly, there is a great light from the fire, a rushing of air, a great flash. You awaken again to see Durance in the same place, still holding his staff, but he is solid, real. He doesn't seem to have noticed you, or reacted to what occurred. Yeah, I might want to have a chat with you about that. Also, I want to purchase... Take 2 days, 3 days... I want to purchase the library. 900? Yeah, let's talk about that. And what must you say now? I have questions I wanted to ask you.
If doubts and curiosity plague you, you're skinning your knuckles on the wrong door.
I saw something strange, Durance. You were sitting by the fire, and I saw a great light from your staff.
Tell me what you saw.
Durance is silent, staring at you, locking gazes. It was a flash like an explosion, a rushing of air, incredibly bright.
It is the light of the Godhammer you saw.
Durance takes in each word. He is strangely silent for a moment, and when he speaks his voice is low. The Godhammer?
It was a weapon of Deerwood's people, a symbol of their independence. It saved the Deerwood.
What do you know about it, Durance?
It brought the Saints' War to an end, knocked a god from his perch. There are few that would deny Eothas overstepped. The Godhammer reminded Eothas of it.
Durance's voice remains low, steady, as if repeating something he said many times before, either out loud or to himself.
You saw its light because I helped shape it, give it life, and release it into the world. Once seen, its glory is almost too bright to be believed, and too bright to be forgotten.
You helped build the Godhammer?
There were 12 of us. We fashioned the weapon, drafted plans for it, prayed for guidance at Ashfall, and it came to me there. Each of us were given a staff made from the forest of black trees around us, glowing with embers and fire far greater than this branch you see now. It felt as if the staff was Margaren's own finger, guiding my hand, guiding the other 11, the shadows of the 12 who had come to stand on the bridge to stop Eothas.
I also saw a dozen bright circles emerging from your staff as well.
Even in that stand, there was a ritual to it. For the 12 that stood on the bridge, there were a dozen shadows cast, a dozen faithful of Margren, her fiercest supporters and shapers of the Godhammer.
Durance rests the staff in front of him, and the flame atop it curls for a moment, the light flaring slightly. It splits into a ring of flames, one after the other, until a dozen is met.
As 12 held Eothas fast, we 12 unleashed our prayers and let the Godhammer fall.
Then it blossoms brightly, once, and resumes its candle intensity. In the aftermath, the shadows seem sharper in the vicinity, as if they have edges, and you blink to clear your vision. Durance is still staring at the tiny candle-like flame, intently.
Shadows cast by the fire of the Godhammer, perhaps. And we shared their fate as well in time. Now the spine of the Deerwood is marked by the Godhammer, marked by Margren.
Durance frowns and moves his gaze from the staff. What do you mean, shared their fates?
Not all deaths come with stilled breath and stilled heart, or other stilled passions beneath the waste. Some deaths come from silence. The connection we once shared with Margren, after the light of the Godhammer, it was not the same. It was as if we'd lost our senses, and sense of purpose as well. Instead of victory being welcomed, there was silence, within and without. Not many can claim to have killed a god. It is less a heroic tale than you would think. And such a death, it changed our faith. All faiths, I expect. Doubt followed, and the world changed. I do not believe Margren was pleased by what we had done.
And yet you have done it. Why is that, Durance?
The world is broken. The wheel stilled. There is sickness in the world's heart. Perhaps the price of crossing a god.
Perhaps.
Crossing 2 gods. Even as Margren shaped our hands, perhaps we carried her will farther than was allowed. Just as Widewind did. Saint Widewind. Mortal arrogance to match mortal arrogance. Yet if the world had changed, then I sought to change with it. If I had forgotten some of Margaren's teachings, I would find them again. I would make her see me again.
What did you do?
I remembered Margaren's teachings. How reminders on the flesh were more important than the death of a vessel. And I wondered if killing Aethys, if that had simply set him free. Had it allowed him to escape his punishment and be taken on the wheel? Like a mortal?
Durance's voice takes an odd upturn for once. As it feels like he is genuinely asking a question, but then he shakes his head.
As I stepped from the now blessed Godhammer Bridge, I thought of Ashfall. I thought of the War of Black Trees, wondered if I needed to be burned to find myself again. That is Margaret at her heart. At least that is my hope. These are the doubts that befall me.
What happened when you returned to Ashfall?
The road to Ashfall is long. Gives one time to think. If you think long enough, you do not go home. I left without telling anyone, with only the robes I wore at Halgot, my staff, and my name, which is long buried. Of my fellow 11 craftsmen, disciples, I know not what happened to them, if they suffered the same doubt as I did. But it was underserved. It was wrong. We had done all that Or had asked. Grab victory from defeat and...
Do you feel as if you betrayed your god?
There is something about being used and cast aside. Perhaps Widewen himself felt it. There at the end, when the hammer struck. To be the proof that your god is hollow as the vessel it inhabits. I tried to find purpose, and avoided all contact with other Magranic priests. Did not seek the walls of Ashfall, and sought to make amends to my god through actions. I joined with the Purges for a time, and not long after came the first signs of the Hollowborn. So many crimes, trespasses, violations. The Salvation. Animancers were another sickness born of the Saints' War. A relapse of innovation, of desperation to heal what we had caused. All seemed worse than before the bridge, not better. And as years passed, the world became even worse still for the victory.
It would seem Magran's silence is your trial. Sweat collects in the sooty creases of his forehead and runs down his ruddy cheeks. It drips from the tip of his nose. His mouth moves, but his utterances make no sound. He is, for once, at a loss. Feeling your gaze, he quickly composes himself, wiping his forehead with the back of a dirty hand.
Worship the whims of some fickle bitch, and you'll never be more than dirt beneath her feet. Worship what she worships, on the other hand. Take her fire for your own, and her esteem comes on its own. Of course, by that time you no longer need it. Trial and transformation, sure as Durance taught.
Durance glares at you, and staring into his eyes gives you a feeling of peering over the edge of a great cliff.
You think to put the coals to my feet, but what's burned once will never burn again. These talks are your trial, Watcher. You cannot deflect the truth to one who has already been purified by it.
Tell me what happened on the bridge.
We chose the bridge because we could control it.
Durance's hands tighten at the top of the staff, as if holding it by the neck.
It was a place where we could choke Aethys in his own footsteps, where we knew his feet would fall, a narrow neck of stone. But it was more than that. It was a spine of deerwood, symbolic of its backbone. Such symbols are important in the construction of a weapon.
Durance studies his staff, his eyes travelling along the etchings.
Any weapon.
Durance's face hardens, and his eyes burn, his eyebrows narrowing.
I suspect Aethys knew that as well, and so did his vessel. in its arrogance. His hands tighten on the staff. He intended to walk upon the bridge as if walking on the backs of a deer would, and we intended to burn him with the light of our faith, and his. 12 on the bridge, 12 in the shadows, and gave ourselves to it. Gave yourselves to it?
We put much of ourselves into the Godhammer. Such a device is not simply a machine. There are elements of the spirit in it. Even Widewind's spirit.
Widewind? Why?
We all studied Widewind. He was our enemy, and he had provided the flesh the god wore as a cloak. That flesh made him vulnerable. I knew what fields his hands had tilled, his family, what he had harvested, where he had been born. We sought to know him, what had led him to fight us.
Why was that important?
You don't kill the god. You kill the man it inhabits. And you leave that man a ruin. Burn him to ash. The weapon was meant to not only burn his flesh, but it would burn his soul. And it did. At the cost of our own. And at the cost of our goddess's favor. That whore be damned.
Sounds as if you fell victim to your own weapon.
Perhaps your eyes were blinded by the truth of the Godhammer, Watcher. I feel half a man at times, but even that is twice that of most others. If you fear for my spirit, your fears are baseless. The Godhammer, seeing its light, only fueled my anger and made me stronger, made me re-examine the teachings of Margaret, put them in a new light.
It looked as if there was only part of you, as if your spirit had been shared in half.
I do not need you to cast any more questions on me, Watcher. Nor did I ask you to look upon me without my leave. Get gone, and leave me be.
Continue to get to know Durance. I will try, game. I will try. And when we come back, folks, we will let some time pass so we can get a deer back in our party. And once he's back, we can then start pursuing the leads that we got from Maleddin Key. That was a very interesting conversation. Very interesting indeed. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you're not. And if you are subscribed, press that bell for those notifications. And I'll catch you next time, folks. And I'll see you then. Later.